My boss tried to reassign my three biggest clients to his nephew to keep the commissions in the family. He announced it at a company meeting with a banner that read, "Success through continuity." I smiled, congratulated the kid, and said nothing. 48 hours later, all three clients terminated their contracts with the firm and signed with my new boutique consultancy instead. My boss called me 17 times that day. I answered on the 18th call and said, "Those clients weren't loyal to your firm. They were loyal to me. You just learned the difference." This is the story of how I built unshakable client equity and why the nephew who replaced me lasted exactly 9 days. My name is Sarah, and I had spent 8 years building a client portfolio at Meridian Business Solutions, a mid-sized consulting firm specializing in supply chain optimization. I wasn't the most senior consultant. I didn't have the fanciest title, but I had something more valuable. 3 major clients who generated $4.2 million in annual revenue and would only work with me. Global Tech Manufacturing, $1.8 million annually. Pacific Logistics Group, $1.5 million annually. Summit Retail Holdings, $900,000 annually. These weren't clients I'd inherited. These were relationships I'd built from cold outreach, nurtured through crises, and strengthened by delivering results year after year. Then the owner's nephew, Tyler, graduated from business school. The company threw a welcome party on a Friday afternoon. There was a banner, catered lunch, and speeches about fresh perspectives and the next generation of leadership. My boss, Richard, stood at the front of the conference room and made an announcement that changed everything. "We're restructuring our key accounts team," he said, beaming. "Tyler will be taking over strategic leadership for our top-tier clients, bringing innovative thinking to our most important relationships." I felt my stomach drop. "Sarah has done an incredible job building these accounts," Richard continued, looking at me with what he probably thought was a grateful smile. "She'll stay on for the next quarter as a senior advisor to ensure a smooth handoff and knowledge transfer." Knowledge transfer. That's corporate speak for "we're taking your clients and kicking you out." The room clapped. Tyler stood up, adjusting his expensive suit, looking pleased with himself. I clapped too, because I'd learned a long time ago, never show your hand when you're planning your exit. After the meeting, Richard called me into his office. "I know this is a big change, Sarah, but it's really an opportunity for you to mentor Tyler while we evaluate your next role in the company. Translation, we're seeing if we still need you once the nephew learns your secrets." "I understand," I said calmly. "What's the transition timeline?" 3 months. You'll introduce Tyler to the key stakeholders, walk him through the account histories, help him understand the relationship dynamics." "And after 3 months?" Richard shifted uncomfortably. "We'll assess where you fit best in the new structure." There it was. No promises, no guarantees. Just vague corporate language that meant I was being phased out. "One question," I said. "Did you review the client contracts before making this decision?" "The contracts? Why would that matter?" "Just wondering if you noticed the key person clauses." His face went blank. He had no idea what I was talking about. "I'll prepare a transition document," I said, standing up. "Let me know when Tyler wants to schedule the first joint client call." That night, I went home and pulled out every contract I'd ever negotiated with my 3 major clients. Every single one had a clause I'd insisted on during negotiations. Client reserves the right to terminate or renegotiate this agreement if the designated account lead, Sarah Mitchell, is removed from the account without client approval. I'd built those clauses in years ago, knowing that in professional services, the relationship is the product. Let me pause the story here to explain something critical. In professional services, clients don't buy your company, they buy you. Your title doesn't matter. Your company's reputation helps, but it's not enough. What matters is, do you understand their business deeply? Have you solved their hardest problems? Do they trust you to tell them the truth, even when it's uncomfortable? Do you know their communication preferences, their internal politics, their personal quirks? Tyler had a fancy degree and a nice title, but he'd never spent 3 hours on a factory floor understanding global tech's bottleneck issues. He'd never taken a midnight call from Pacific Logistics during a shipping crisis. He'd never sat across from Summit Retail's CEO during their bankruptcy scare and helped them restructure their entire supply chain. I had. Those experiences created trust, and trust doesn't transfer with a title. Tyler scheduled his first joint client call for the following Tuesday. Global Tech Manufacturing, the biggest account. I prepared a detailed briefing document. Company history, key stakeholders, current projects, communication preferences, pain points, cultural notes. Tyler skimmed it in maybe 10 minutes. "I think I've got it," he said confidently. "I've done plenty of client management in my internships." The call was scheduled for 2 p.m. with James Chen, Global Tech's COO. At 1:55, Tyler opened his laptop and pulled up a PowerPoint deck he'd created. "I thought I'd present some innovative optimization strategies to show him we're bringing fresh thinking," Tyler explained. I felt a cold wave of dread. "Tyler, James Chen hates PowerPoint presentations. It's in the briefing doc. He prefers collaborative discussion, whiteboard sessions, problem-solving conversations." "That's old-school thinking. Modern executives appreciate visual data." I said nothing. I wanted to see how this played out. The call started. Tyler dove straight into his presentation, sharing his screen, walking through slides about synergistic supply chain integration and leveraging AI-driven logistics optimization. I watched James's face on the video call. His expression was polite but cold. After 5 minutes, James interrupted. "Tyler, I appreciate the presentation, but I'm not clear on how this addresses our current fulfillment delay issues in the Southeast region." Tyler fumbled. "Well, the AI optimization would theoretically improve all regional performance." "Theoretically isn't what we pay for." "Sarah, are you still on this account?" "I'm here, James." "Good. Can you and I schedule a separate call to actually discuss the Southeast issue, without the PowerPoint?" "Of course." The call ended 10 minutes later. Tyler looked confused. James looked annoyed. I scheduled a solo call with James for the next day. On that solo call, James wasted no time. "Sarah, what's going on? Why is Richard's nephew suddenly on our account?" "The firm is restructuring key account leadership." "And you're okay with this?" My opinion wasn't really solicited. Long pause. "Are you leaving?" "That's being discussed." "If you leave, we're reevaluating our contract with Meridian. You know that, right? We have a key person clause specifically because we work with you, not with them." "I'm aware of that clause, James. I wrote it into our contract 3 years ago." "Smart. So what's your plan?" I took a breath. This was the moment. "I'm considering opening my own consultancy. Small, specialized, focused on the clients I know best." "When?" "Soon." "Let me know. We'll follow you." That conversation was on Wednesday. By Friday, I'd had similar calls with Pacific Logistics and Summit Retail. All three said the same thing. If you leave, we leave. The following Monday, I walked into Richard's office with a single sheet of paper. "This is my resignation," I said, placing it on his desk. "Effective 2 weeks from today." His face went through several emotions: surprise, confusion, then panic. "Sarah, let's talk about this. If this is about the restructuring—" "It's not about ego, Richard. It's about professional growth. I'm starting my own firm." "You can't take our clients with you. We have non-solicitation agreements." "I'm not soliciting anyone, but I can't control whether clients choose to exercise the key person clauses in their contracts." "The what?" I pulled out copies of all 3 contracts, the relevant sections highlighted. "These clauses give the clients the right to terminate if I'm removed from their accounts. I negotiated them into every contract specifically for situations like this." Richard's face turned red. "You planned this?" "I planned to protect my professional relationships. You decided to restructure without consulting the clients or checking the contracts. That was your choice."
If you walk out with our clients, I'll sue you for tortious interference. You're welcome to try. My attorney has reviewed everything. I haven't solicited anyone. I've simply informed clients, when asked, about my career plans. What they choose to do with that information is their decision. I stood up. I'll complete my notice period and document everything for Tyler, but I think we both know those clients are going to terminate their contracts. I walked out. Here's the critical question. In your client's eyes, are you a helper or a partner? A helper is replaceable. They do tasks, they execute what they're told. They're valuable, but not irreplaceable. A partner is different. A partner challenges your thinking, brings insights you haven't considered, understands your business as deeply as you do, solves problems before they become crises, earns the right to difficult conversations. I wasn't helping Global Tech, Pacific Logistics, and Summit Retail. I was their partner in solving their hardest problems. That's why they followed me. Ask yourself, if you left your company tomorrow, would your clients follow you? If the answer is no, you haven't built enough client equity yet.
48 hours after I submitted my resignation, all 3 clients sent termination notices to Meridian. Global Tech. Per the key person clause in our agreement, we are exercising our right to terminate due to the removal of Sarah Mitchell from our account. Pacific Logistics. Same language. Summit Retail. Same language. Richard called me 17 times. I didn't answer. On the 18th call, I picked up. "You sabotaged us," he shouted. "No, Richard, you sabotaged yourself. You tried to replace a partner relationship with a helper relationship. The clients saw the difference immediately. We're going to sue. For what? Clients exercising contractual clauses that your company agreed to? Go ahead. My attorney would love to explain to a judge how you removed the designated account lead without client approval, violating your own contracts." Silence. "Those clients are gone, Richard. Tyler lasted 9 days before they all terminated. You have 2 weeks to prepare for that revenue loss." I hung up. 3 weeks later, I signed all 3 clients to my new firm, Mitchell Strategic Solutions. Same services, same relationships, better terms for the clients because I didn't have Meridian's overhead. Global Tech, $1.8 million annual contract. Pacific Logistics, $1.6 million. They actually increased their budget. Summit Retail, $950,000. Total year 1 revenue for my solo consultancy, $4.35 million. Tyler, meanwhile, was reassigned to business development at Meridian, a polite way of saying they didn't trust him with actual clients anymore. If you're in professional services, here's how to build the kind of client equity that makes you irreplaceable. 1. Solve real problems, not fake ones. Don't just do what you're hired to do. Understand the deeper issue. James didn't need a PowerPoint about AI optimization. He needed someone who understood why his Southeast fulfillment was delayed and how to fix it. 2. Learn their business like it's yours. I could walk Global Tech's factory floor and point out bottlenecks. I knew Pacific Logistics shipping routes better than some of their own staff. That knowledge is power. 3. Build personal relationships. I knew James Chen hated PowerPoint. I knew Pacific CEO preferred early morning calls. I knew Summit's CFO was a data person who wanted spreadsheets, not stories. Those details matter. 4. Earn the right to hard conversations. Partners tell you the truth. Helpers tell you what you want to hear. I'd told James his internal processes were inefficient. I'd told Pacific they were overpaying for warehouse space. I'd told Summit their entire supply chain model was broken. They trusted me because I was honest. 5. Document your value. I kept detailed records of every problem solved, every dollar saved, every crisis averted. When clients asked, "What has Sarah done for us?" I had quantifiable answers. 6. Protect yourself contractually. Those key person clauses saved me. If you're building significant client relationships, negotiate protections into your contracts. I've created a free client transition red flag checklist to help you identify when your position is at risk.
It includes 15 warning signs that you're being phased out, contract clauses to look for, documentation you should maintain, questions to ask during restructuring announcements, legal considerations before making a move. Link in the description. Download it. Protect yourself before you need to. The lesson here isn't steal your employer's clients. The lesson is build genuine partnerships that transcend company logos. Richard thought he could swap me out for his nephew because the clients were Meridian's clients. He was wrong. They were my clients. Meridian just collected the checks. When he tried to replace the relationship, the clients chose the relationship over the company. That's the power of client equity. So ask yourself, are you building transactional relationships or true partnerships? Are you a replaceable helper or an irreplaceable partner? Because someday, your company might try to replace you, and when that happens, you want your clients to say what mine said. If Sarah leaves, we leave. Thanks for watching. If you've ever been undervalued and had to prove your worth by walking away, drop a comment. You're not alone. Hit subscribe for more stories about professional leverage, client relationships, and building irreplaceable value. And remember, people do business with people, not logos.